adorable? She's so sweet.
Are you sure it's a girl?
I don't know. I briefly looked. I didn't want to violate her.
She needs a... This is a boy, honey.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Is it really?
Yes. You always just bought a boy. You're so cute.
Okay, good. I have better boy names than girls.
She's silly. She thought you were a girl. You're so manly.
It's dirty.
The
You need a
kids
nap.
found her, or him, and they kept pissing with him, so then I had to go back
At
and
least
like...
it's a long hair.
I had to pick him up,
It's a boy.
and then he kept following me, so I'm like, well, I'm not going to deny you. So then he rode on the tractor while I drove it, and he did so good. So I'm like, you're perfect. And he rode, oh my gosh, I have the cutest pictures to show you in the car. The cutest pictures. He sat in my arms the whole time. He's such a good car cat. Look at the little baby.
Oh my goodness. He just lay there in your lap.
Look at how sweet.
You're such a good boy.
He did so good.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this little
my
thing.
From the
goodness,
picture,
that's
this one
cute.
didn't
I know,
look like...
he put his little arms out.
Oh, he's so
Isn't she
cute.
so precious?
He needs a bath, though.
I know I was going to.
Hey, listen. Oh, goodness. I
Okay,
saw
I-
you.
What?
I just wanted a long-haired one.
I was gonna name it Junie.
Junie? No. Oh, God. He's hissing.
No.
Augustus. I just like that name.
Oh, he does look like Augustus.
I'm thinking like a little. I don't know.
What if you name him like a pirate name?
He looks like an old man who owns like some estate
Harold.
that everyone's scared of.
Now Holly can finally go get my fertilizer for me after being introduced to a new family member, the little kitten that Callie found. Great job. You're a
I
great...
wish it was that easy the other night in the field when I got body slammed by the tank when I was trying to hook it up flat.
You're a great
Dark.
backer-upper.
Not really, but thanks to the camera in the daylight.
We are trying to plant corn and cut our hay at the same time because these little guys are chewing holes in our leaves. And they're eating our hay crop. These bugs, I believe, actually wiped out civilizations back in the biblical times. They can get out of hand. All of these little holes in the hay leaves are from weevils and other bugs eating our crop that is supposed to go for our dairy cows. I said it before that we were not going to let them win the war. Holly's out here mowing the field, and that's going to get rid of the weevils because they're going to die in the process of chopping the hay up, and they won't be around for the next cutting. Now, as she gets ready to go, my ears pick up on a noise that is not a normal noise. It's a sound of something hitting a piece of sheet metal. And I may have some hearing issues on listening to people's voices, but my ears are very, very good at picking up metallic noises and bearings going out and other noises on equipment. I can hear things across the whole farm that's not supposed to be. And we just put this new piece of metal underneath there, this long green piece. It was like $1,800 because it kind of wore out. So we just put that on, and now these V-shaped things that are called fingers, they get flung out from this center pipe in centrifugal motion, and they carry the hay around the top. And these things are always flying out, and they're stretching the bolts, and the holes are getting worn out. You can see here, this one is almost through the back side of the V thing there, and you can see where it's contacting that new piece of metal we just put on there. So we have to replace that. And I've just replaced a couple other ones. You can see the newer green ones on there. And now I have to another one because they're just constantly, one at a time kind of wearing out, and I don't have enough of them to replace them all or the time to do it all at one time. And the best tool that I found for this is a right angle ratchet. It looks like, it's a right angle impact. It's not a ratchet, it's an impact. It's kind of like a ratchet, but it's not. It's an impact wrench. And it works perfectly. It gets in there, and I'll tell you what, all the tools that Clayton has that I'm using, there's a tool for every job. And this one I would buy just for this job alone because it's the only way to get it in there. It works perfectly. So when we replace the finger, we also replace the bolt because the bolt gets worn and the finger itself. You can see the difference right here. And when those two wear points go together, there's a lot of movement, and that's why it came out. It was able to move so much farther out and hit that new piece of sheet metal. We've actually had these things just come flying right off when that back wears down a little bit more, and then they go through metal. They get stuck in the chopper. It's just not something you want. That's a dangerous thing. You don't want that to fly off and hit anybody or get lost in your field. These things go on in a breeze, and there's nothing to it. Super easy putting them on. Taking them off, sometimes it's hard to get that bolt back out because it's got that little notch in there. And in less than 10 minutes, Holly was heading back out to the field again. Yesterday, we had to stop mowing because the gearbox bearing went out, and we had to rebuild the whole thing. I'm just checking to see if it's getting too hot. So we're finally back out at it again. Holly is just going to start to mow. I'm going to make sure that the gearbox we just fixed is not going to get too hot or anything. But it's a race between us and the weevils at this point. And like I said, we're not going to lose that one. So we're just going to keep going and going. If it looks like she's driving fast, it's because this thing is going fast. This tractor goes about 12 miles an hour, I think, when you're mowing. And it's kind of an intense ride. You got to hold on and steer it straight, and there's not much other things you can do when you're driving. She can hardly have time to drink out of her pink cup. Looks like we still got problems. It was not cutting all the way down for some reason. I thought we had major problems. So I had to go talk to Holly. So that was at 0, and the head was tipped more up. And that's why we have all that long stuff down there. This pass ought to be different. Nice hay.
Yeah, I got one strip and we weren't at a stop.
Trying to plant corn and mow hay at the same time is just an exhausting feat. Holly's been mowing every chance she could get between breakdowns and even late into the night. The next day, I woke up with a lot of hope that today was going to be a day where we wouldn't have a lot of breakdowns. The geese were even flying north. It seems like all of her equipment was either broken, being used, or being repaired at once. We had to resurrect a 4040. It doesn't do a lot of work on the farm, but it still does some. So I was out this morning running that, and let me tell you, it was a blast. I'll get more into that in a minute, but I'm trying to explain to Holly how to run this tractor. What do you think, guys? There's a quote from the Blues Brothers movie that Elwood Blues says, "No pharmaceutical product could ever equal the rush you get when the band hits that groove, when the people are dancing, shouting, swaying, and the house is rocking." Well, that's exactly how I felt this morning. We have some newer tractors that are really nice to drive. Air conditioning, they've got nice radios, air ride seat, all this. But you know what? There's something about being on that 4040 that just brought it back to the grassroots of farming. Open station, being able to smell the hay, smell the dirt, hear the birds, feel the wind on your face, feel the different temperatures as you go up and down a hill, and feel the tractor. You feel every vibration, and you smell the exhaust. I think we all really enjoyed driving that tractor that day. And here's Clayton, puffing the smoke. He liked it too.